Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
So today we were inspired by a podcast from some Toronto boys called Medium Rare. So we thought we would do kind of our version, 5 signs of a
boy. They've done like 5 signs of girl. We kind of wanted to do like from a female version. Also, I think it's funny, like they're from Toronto, so like different sides of like the Toronto scene, like girls and boys. These are personally what we think. We might get hate for this. This is just kind of our own opinion. This is kind of what we look for when we're dating around.
Yeah, and some people might take it personally. Just know this is all for entertainment purposes, and this is just, you know, comedy. And so don't take it personally. We love you guys. It's just it's something that needs to be done and needs to be said. So
let's get into it of what we think are our 5 signs. Okay, so for the first one, we put down that Snapchat is their main form of communication. There's something about Snapchat, I don't know if it's because like the messages go away, like you can't screenshot, so you can't like expose them. And it's also like not that serious. So I feel like guys think if like they're texting you, it's more serious, but Snapchat is like less serious. So a boy that doesn't want anything serious loves a Snapchat. If you're out and you meet a guy and instead of asking you for like your number, he's like, what's your Snapchat? That shouldn't be the first thing you ask a girl is like, what's your Snapchat? Like, at least Instagram, like I honestly feel like asking for my Instagram is better than asking for my Snapchat. That's so impersonal, like it's just kind of sus.
So if his main form of communication is Snapchat,
if he has a high score, I know you can see like the scores on Snapchat. If it's over, I would say maybe like 100,000, that's pushing it. But if it's over 100,000, like that's kind of scary.
Number 2.
What am I gonna see? Oh, I can't wait to meet up with you. When we meet up, we're fighting.
We're fighting.
That is the biggest sign. Like, they can't initiate a real date. All of their texts are like, oh, when am I gonna see you? Or why do you always flop on me, when they're not even asking you on a real date? It's like, he never wants to initiate it. He just kind of wants to keep the conversation going and seem like he's kind of interested. But a real man will actually take initiative and say, hey, what are you doing Thursday? Let's go on a date. Let's do something. I want to take you here. Men that are just kind of flip-floppy with texting, I don't know.
And if you're a guy watching this, little tip, don't be like asking the girl what they want to do. I think a girl likes, at least most girls, when you like, I'm picking you up like Thursday, like this time. Once you know like she actually wants to chill and you guys have talked about it, like you set it up. Don't be like, oh, like what restaurant? Like you pick the restaurant. So it's nice when a guy has it all like set up and he tells you when to be ready. Okay, the next one is if he loves Instagram. Okay, this might give us some hate because we're like, oh my God, such a double standard. You guys love Instagram. But like we're active on Instagram, yes, but it's also part of like our job. But a guy that like, honestly, his whole life is Instagram. Like that's all he cares about. Like whenever you guys are together, he's always on Instagram, like just always doing things on Instagram. A little bit sus. Specifically, if there's like some guys that just like are always following girls, like they're just always following girls, liking their pictures. Like, I guess if you're single, whatever, it's fine, but still that looks a little bit like weird and a little bit like thirsty. But especially if you're like talking to someone or like you're dating, like if you're following a bunch of girls and liking a bunch of pictures, like that's just like kind of disrespectful.
I remember this guy was talking to one of my friends and I was on the following tab and I saw that he started following Sherry Hill, which is like a prom dress company, and he was following it for the girls, and I'm like, girl, he will follow anything. He's following Sherry Hill. Like I'm done. But yeah, if he's, even if by his Instagram aesthetic, if it's like just selfies, like pure selfie after selfie, like mirror selfie, car selfie, and like he's constantly posting on his story like selfies with him doing like the, it ain't it. It ain't it. So.
We're not saying if you post selfies, you're a fuckboy, but honestly, if your whole feed is just like selfies, you're not showing anything else, like, and you're doing it like a lot, then that's like kind of weird. Like, I don't know. That's what we personally think.
Okay, so number 4, he's a hater. This guy is just like homophobic, racist, sexist, biased. If anything that he says that comes out of his mouth is just very biased towards like a race or a culture and like really hateful and misogynistic, this guy is not the guy. He's just such a hater. He's not a good person that you want in your life. He's just gonna bring you down, and it's just not someone to surround yourself with. You want someone to be more open open-minded and loving of all cultures, all races, all genders, and not someone who's just gonna be a hater in your life.
Yeah, and girls, you want someone that's gonna be a feminist. And guys that are watching this, feminism doesn't mean that you think like girls are better. It's just that you think they should be equal. Like you're just for women, you support women with no matter what they're doing. There's some guys that are so like on women for everything, like no matter what they do. And so he says a lot of like anti-feminist, like sexist things. Big red flag. You just don't want someone that has like so much hate in their heart. Or if they're even like talking bad about girls, like some girls might like it. They're like calling other girls like ugly and stuff because they're like, oh, like they like that they're calling another girl ugly, but that's a red flag right there. Like if they're always insulting other girls, like you also as a girl shouldn't feel better by a guy putting down other girls. Like you want that guy to be complimenting you, but he doesn't need to do that by insulting another girl. Yeah. So it's a big red flag because once he's done with you, he's gonna be talking shit about you, like how he said about those other girls. So he'll just do the same to you if he's saying it to you. So watch out. And then our last like major sign is if he's always accusing you of doing something. The person that's always very like defensive is like usually the one that's doing it. It's always like calling the other person out on it. So if he's always thinking that you're cheating, most likely he's cheating. If you're not doing anything that's like giving him a reason to suspect you're cheating, that is kind of a red flag. That he's always like suspicious is because he has his own insecurities. He doesn't want to get caught, and he knows what he does when he's out, so he's worried that you do the same thing. So big red flag if he's always suspicious of that. He should feel comfortable. If he's comfortable in the relationship and it's not doing anything against you, then he would trust you as well.
Okay, so we already said the 5 signs. Now we're going to do some honorable mentions. So these are some extra things that you kind of just like want to watch out for when meeting a guy. So number 1 is a shooter. This guy is posting on Instagram of this new belt he bought, of that new shoes.
Watch.
Oh my God, just flexing, like stunt for the gram, like, okay, it's cool, you can have like some nice things. But if this guy is just like shooting up, like it's nobody's business and just like trying to like impress you just by using material things, what else does he have to offer? Nothing. His personality must be really boring.
We like to show our stuff too, so it's not like we're saying like don't show stuff, and like we also like to show that stuff, but honestly if you're always showing it, then that's like kind of a turn off. Another one is a big red flag is if you just meet the guy and you just like topic of exes come up and he's just like, oh, like my ex is crazy, and like maybe like one person has like one crazy ex, I get it, but if he says it about every single ex,
my exes got restraining orders.
All my exes, blah 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 blah.
No, there's no chance.
Baby, it's you.
They would have all that. It's that person. That guy's definitely crazy. If all the girls
are crazy, like why did they make him crazy?
Yeah. And maybe like he'd be like, oh, they did this, and maybe they did do those things, but it's like, what did you do that led them to that?
Yeah.
Like there's always,
yeah,
a reaction to things.
And then the last one is if he's obsessed with himself. And I mean, it's good to have confidence in a man, but you don't want a guy who's just all about himself. When I say that, I mean like he's just like very dismissive of what you say. So just kind of pay attention, even in conversations when you're kind of like talking about your day and he's just like, that's great. Anyways, my day was this. Like he's not really like retrieving in the conversation and actually like opening up and like exploring like why you feel that way. And it's just kind of like, oh yeah, okay, well now this is what I have to offer. Like it's just, he's only caring about himself. He doesn't want to get to know you anymore just because like he just kind of needs like a confidence boost and just like needs someone to like listen to his shit, to be honest.
And yeah, on top of like the thing when you're having like a conversation with a person, you can kind of tell if they're like obsessed with themselves. You can tell when you're talking to someone if like they're only thinking of what they're gonna respond, like what they could add to it. So like I always hear this
just
quote
like not all there.
Like, you need to like, you're supposed to listen to understand, not to respond. And so many people like listen to respond. Like they just like, okay, what am I gonna say about me next? Like you're saying something and they're like, oh yeah, that happened to me too. Or like one time this happened to me. Like it shouldn't always be switched back to them. Like they should engage with you about your thing first. So it always switches back to them. That's a sign that they're obsessed with themselves. So be careful about that. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Just some little funny, little red flags that we found when we're dating around of what we personally don't like. and that you should watch out for.
So if you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments below, or if you have an idea of what to give us for our next YouTube video, feel free to comment. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Victoria Marie and at Claudia Shaka. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video.
Okay, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.